I would like to say good morning to you and welcome. I am the assistant, and my name is Adeline Martinez. I am the assistant curator at the museum, and I will be officiating as the chairperson this morning. And that's a sweet job. So at this time, I would just call on the senior manager of human resource, industrial and external relations, who would bring greetings to you. Mrs. Crooks, please.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning again. Dr. the Honorable Nyan Gatsby Dolly, Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. Thank you so much for coming. Governor, Deputy Governor, management and staff of the bank, schools represented by teachers and students. So I just want to recognize the schools. So it's Curiosity in the house. Is that what young people say? Or? So give them some young people energy. Right. San Fernando Central, are you here? Oh gosh. On their way maybe. Tunapuna Secondary, are you here? Okay. Speyside High School, I know that you're here. Scarborough Government Secondary. Yeah. Serval and Costat, we are happy to have you here this morning. Thank you so much for coming, all distinguished guests, members of the media. I am particularly excited, and I usually am excited, so when it's extra, it's for good reason. I am really excited about today's launch of the newly rebranded and reimagined Central Bank Museum, after 3 years of the closure of what was referred to as the Money Museum. My excitement will be easily understood by the governor, my colleagues, and the External Relations Museum team, because we encountered several challenges in getting to the finishing line. In 2016, we agreed to create a new museum experience, different from the previous one, more modern and interactive, that would further enhance the educational experience of all our citizens who invest the time to visit the space. I, for one, was never involved in a project of this nature, and was fascinating to say the least. From the conceptualization stage, where we communicated what we wanted to see in the space to our consultants, then going through the drawings that sought to reflect what we wanted in a beautiful 129-page presentation. That was only the beginning. The project was a major one that had many moving parts that had to come together through the efforts of local and foreign contractors and our staff members across the bank. The museum unit, the other members of the external relations team, the support services, information technology, research, banking, and KIM departments, and the wider staff who came forward to donate exhibit items. Thank you for your devotion and your effort. It was one of the most exciting experiences of my career, working with staff and consultants to overcome challenges and seeing teamwork in action, with everyone having the common goal of getting the space up and ready by a certain date. We believe that the visible commitment of our staff inspired our external providers. I would like to share the sentiments of James Hungerford, Senior Vice President, Bluewater Studio, the provider responsible for the fabrication and installation of all the exhibit cases, who wrote to me on December 7th as follows. I can't express how much the Bluewater Studio team and I appreciate the opportunity to be part of this major project and the reopening of the Money Museum and exhibition. We are proud and honored to be part of this experience and endeavor. Further, we have very much enjoyed working with you and your team. I am extremely proud of the museum team, other members of the ER staff, and all other departments. Each person there's one who went above and beyond to deliver what was expected of us, on time and within budget. It took hours of personal sacrifice, determination, and passion for what we are doing to have arrived at this stage. Today, we celebrate that achievement, and with pride, not arrogance, in what we have accomplished, we present the Central Bank Museum to you, confident that you will absolutely love it. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the launch, which will conclude with a tour, and we look forward to your feedback. Thank you very much.
Yes, and as Mrs. Crook said, it really did take quite a lot of us to get this museum together, and it did take us some time. We are really, really excited to finally open. As equally as you, I know some of you are really excited as well to just get through those doors. I am seeing like Mr. Sugrim in from Deep South. He is one of our teachers who would normally bring students on. And we're really happy to have all of you here. And we, as I said, I know you all are very, very excited, as I am. And at this point, I would like to invite Governor Alvin Hilaire, who would come and bring some words to us this morning, remarks.
Thank you very much, Nicole, Adeline. Today we are very, well, we are always excited, but we are also very proud today to talk to you and to welcome you into our space. So, Dr. the Honorable Nayan Gasby Dolly, Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts, Deputy Governor, members of the board, members of management, senior management, the media, the schools, Tobago in the house, we are really excited. The university, those listening to us online, that will listen to us tonight on TV, on the radio, etc. Welcome to our space. As I said, we are very, very proud and excited. Today is a great day for us. You know, in December, it was December 12, 2004, that the central bank actually opened what we call its money museum. So just over 14 years ago, we started this journey. And what was it about? It was to let people into our world and to discuss. I'm talking about it as discussion because it is a dialogue. It is not just artifacts that are there. But to interact and say, this is our money, this is the history of our money, this is the evolution of our money, this is the future of our money. So these are the kind of things that were involved in the Money Museum at the time. We also included a big segment on the role and function of the central bank. So this is the conceptualization. We had this building at the time because we were in the Treasury building. We were all about the place, and we had this building. And one of the key things was that not only would it be a functional building for people doing work and doing exchange control at the time, research, banking and so, but we had to give back to the community. We had to be part of the atmosphere. So we have an auditorium where a lot of plays are being staged on a nightly basis and sometimes daily basis. And particularly when we had some problems in other spaces, people flocked to the central bank, and we are very proud of that. So we give back in that sense. The other way is, apart from our normal community activities, the museum, where we invite people, and I think one of our major proud moments is to have the young people, the youths of our nation, come and understand what is going on in our space. So we are particularly proud of that over the many years. But things are dynamic. We don't just stay in one place because the world is not static. So we have, as these people like to say, Nicole and company, reimagine, redesign, whatever, all of these things. Look at everything again. Let's see how we could come to terms with modern technology, with modern demands, with iPads, with whatever you want to call it. 14 years ago when it started, we didn't have all those things. So we have to be in time and in space now, and we have to look to the future. So over the course of a few years, we stepped back and said, let's look back at our space and see what we can do. So this is the product of all this labor of love that has been conducted over quite a few years, and it has gone through different evolutions. And when Nicole said it has come in under budget, this was a very serious thing because our board was looking very carefully in this time of stringency at the numbers. You have to justify everything. And to their credit, they had a very clear, specific set of numbers that they had to work with, and we kind of insisted that things must be within that framework. So we are also very proud of our, not only um, explaining money and presenting money, but in our conduct in terms of getting things in and under budget. So I want to commend them also for working with strict timelines, deadlines, and so forth. I will share with you, I'm going off track as usual, but we had a saying and the board said, well, will it be finished in time? Because we had a kind of a soft launch, as it were, on December the 7th at our cocktail party. And Mrs. Crook said, if I am an artifact, this thing is open in time. So we made sure, and they made sure that everything was on time. So let me get back to what we are imagining now, as Nicole would have said. A new space that has some features of the past clearly, but some new things. It is more interactive, and it has certain things that were not there before. For example, you will see an art center, and I'll talk a little bit about that. A resource center where you have 4 computers, desktop computers, where people could go and find out things about our economy and so forth. It has spaces that would be looking at our new industries in Trinidad and Tobago and so forth. So it is new, and interactivity is quite important. You will see some tiny chairs and say, well, I can't sit in that. But it's for the little people, the little children, to be able to go, to be part of it, to be able to understand, and also to interact. How is this interaction? Via computers, via looking at the spaces, and interaction is not just one way, that you know, we give something and you just press a button and see it. No, you could share your ideas with us and share your ideas with other people. One of the particularly fascinating things is on inflation. So you could go and scan you have some goods there. Please don't go with them. They're just, you know, mock-ups as it were. But my particular interest was on the doubles, because you will see how the price of doubles has gone up over the years. The price that will now so it's a lot of fun, it's interactive, and it is something that we think is important because this is the way people learn now. The children of today don't learn by just you give them a book and they read everything. No, they check everything. They look on Google, Yahoo, they check Facebook with their friends, everything. So it is a different world. So we are part of this world, and we want you to share with us and to be part of it. The other thing that is important is the feedback from the community and the dynamism. The space that you are in is not just a static space. It will be used for exhibits over time. So people want to have different exhibits. You have a pan recital, a guitar recital, you have a temporary exhibit. All of this will be used for interacting with the community. So we are very proud of these new aspects of our interaction with the community. One of the other interesting things for me in particular was the art collection. As I mentioned, there's an art corner. And what will we do in that corner? Over 50 years ago, we started collecting art at the Central Bank when we were in the Treasury building and so forth. So the exhibit has grown over time. Over 200 works, mainly by important local artists. Some known, some not so well known, but still local artists. And we are very proud of that. Some of the well-known names you would be familiar with. Willie Chen, you know, this big, wonderful exhibit here. You have Pat Bishop, Cozier, Ralph and Vera Bainey. And we were privileged to get a very important, small but important work by Peter Minshall quite recently. So we will be presenting this in our museum. We will be rotating it, so you'll have a small exhibit at each point in time. So you come today and you see something, you come tomorrow, you see something else. This is the fun, this is the interaction that we want to continue with you. So we will be presenting our works, and we will be opening up the space for people to tell us what to do and to be able to present their things also. So I don't want to keep you back too much again, but I want to just use the opportunity to, first of all, thank you for being part of the Central Bank, because we are all one country, one space, and our money links us together. like it or not. Thanks to the people who were part of the journey, and as Nicole mentioned, Lord Cultural Resources, a museum planning company from Canada. And we have Bluewaters that were involved in a lot of the making of the cases and so forth from Michigan. Then, but this is not only just, we bring in some foreigners and do things. No, we have our important local components too. We had CET, which is Caribbean Entertainment Technologies, and CMB, which is Collier Morrison Belgrave, that have been helping us with a number of things on the multimedia and digital work that is part of it. We had Topmark Limited that would have been helping us with a lot of the artifacts and some of the physical works. So it is a collaboration of the best international people that are involved in it, because we always go for the best within budget. And then we have our local people. So local content is part of it, because it is germane to us. And of course, the labor of love from our own central bank staff and our other people. We cannot underestimate the work Nicole Naima, who will be chatting with you shortly, would have put into this. As I said, it is a labor of love. It is something that comes from within, that we all share, but they have been passionate about it, and they have gone through, I wouldn't say hell and back, but a lot of discussion backward and forth. So we are proud of the work that they have been doing, and we want to just take this opportunity again to thank you for being here and for continuing to work with us as we try to contribute more fully to not only the economy, but the culture and the education of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
Right. So our museum before was named, we called it actually the Central Bank's Money Museum. I'm not certain how many of you visited at that time, but remarks from some would have said it was a beautiful museum. And now we want to show you some behind the scenes video presentation of what took place for us to get to this new rebranded, what we call the Central Bank Museum now. So you got to see a sneak peek of before the Money Museum. You got to see some works the works that was going on to bring it to what we are proud of today, and we're happy to show you that footage. Dublin. Thank you. I think that's beautiful. I am excited, and I hope you are. Just now you get to go in. At this point, I am happy to introduce our curator, Mrs. Naima Muakil Zakuri, who would bring some closing remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, right, sorry. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the relaunch of the Central Bank Museum. And I'm very emotional after watching those pictures because I know what went into it. And that was just a drop in the bucket in terms of what we had to go through. When I joined the bank in 2013, a year later, the museum was closed to start this project. So basically, this project has been my life for the last 5 years. And as Nicole would have said, it was a team effort, and it could not have been done without the support of everyone here in the bank, the facilities department, our staff at the external relations department, and everyone else who contributed. And it is my pleasure today to stand here before you and give everyone the thanks that is due. I would like to acknowledge our museum design consultants, Lord Cultural Resources. They weren't they weren't able to be here today, but they do send greetings, and they are very happy that the product that is finished is something that we could be all proud of. So they helped us from the planning stage. One of the first things that we did was a visioning session, and a lot of the people who were at the visioning session 5 years ago are here today. So I would like to point out the curator of the National Museum who is here, and Marlon Green of the National Trust, and I know some of the teachers as well were here for that visioning session. So as much as we wanted to present a museum to the public, we had to know what the public wanted. So that was one of the first things that we did. And Lord Cultural Resources, they were able to guide us through that whole process of museum planning. Then we have Bluewater Studio, who were contracted to do all of the exhibits that you'll see here today. You know, they're wonderful, world standard, high quality exhibits that were done at their facilities in Michigan. And just before they shipped it, I was able to go and have a look at the final products before they shipped it. And I was just blown away by what we were going to receive. And as Governor said, we wanted the project to be inclusive. So we didn't just want to have foreign consultants come in and leave a product with us and leave. So we had 3 local contractors work alongside the foreign contractors so that there would be experience gained all around. And the 3 local contractors who worked with us, the main ones, of course, were Caribbean Entertainment Technology, Collier Morrison Belgrave, CMB, and Topmark Limited. And they all have representatives here today. And we thank them for all of their hard work, all of the stress that we put them through, you know, all of the harsh emails at times, you know, where are you? Okay, so, and then of course we have some of my colleagues that I would like to thank. Mike Rutherford of the UE Zoology Museum. He's not here today, but I see that Dr. Glenroy Tate is here representing UE, and Mike really helped us in terms of his experience with museums to reach where we are today. We also have Angostura Museum. We have a representative here today. Rhonda, thank you for being here. And thank you for all of your support. We actually got donations from Angostura for the museum, so that you'll see that today. I don't know if we have representatives from Solo Beverages here, but I was trying to call them because I wanted a red Solo to put in the museum and couldn't get through. And I actually went there morning and I begged, I said, we need a red Solo for the museum. And the manager, Mr. Heimdat, he said they have one more. He said Mr. Charles has one more on his desk, and he said you could have it. So I left there a happy lady, and I got my red solo for the museum. And of course, internally, Mr. Adrian Guy, who is a collector. He's a member of staff, but he's a collector. I'm not seeing him here. Adrian, are you here? He's not here, but he was instrumental in getting for us a $1,000 note on loan from Mr. Jai Narayan Singh, who is a Trinidadian who lives abroad, but we learned that this $1,000 note existed. We couldn't afford to buy one, 16,000 US, right? We couldn't afford to buy one, so we were looking for one on loan to put in the museum, and Adrian says he knows somebody who has one, and we set up this whole meeting, and it was just marvelous, and Mr. Narayan Singh came, and he was completely blown away. I think he loves Addie. And he gave us his $1,000 note, right? He just said yes. He just saw Addie and he said yes. And we have the $1,000 note on display, and I'm extremely happy about that. And I would like to thank at this point somebody very special and dear to me, who is my grandmother, who is here today, Miss Neela Natu. And what I got from her, growing up, I always heard her say that she has all this memorabilia from my great-grandmother. And I remember her saying that she had this World War II ration card. Now, we have an exhibit on what is money. So we have some food stamps from the 1970s, and we have the current food cards. But I was like, is there anything older? And then I remembered Granny saying World War II ration cards, and she had them still. I was like, wow. And I got them. They're in the museum, and I'm so happy to show them off, and thank you, Granny. And my aunt is here as well. So thank you, Granny. And we got tons of donations from all kinds of people. So Malini Joseph, she couldn't be here today. Mr. Todd Gulick was instrumental in getting a Peter Minshall replica headpiece for us for a carnival display. Mr. Geraldo Rivera is responsible for all of the replicas that you see in the museum. So you're going to see some coconuts and some cocoa pods that look like you could eat them. You can't eat them. They're fake. Shirlan Peters, an artist, she was responsible for doing one of the mini sculptures that we have. So that's just a little bit of thanks. I can't thank everybody, and I can't thank everybody enough. This project has been my life, and I really think that even though so much work has gone into it, the work has now begun, because now people are going to come, and we have to make the experience amazing for everyone all the time. We look forward to your feedback today. Anything that we could improve, do tell us. It's not perfect. There are things that I wish we could have done better. There are things that could be done better, I'm sure. And we look forward to your feedback, especially these students. We want to know how you feel interacting with the space and what we could add and things like that. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the morning.
Right, so before we get into the excitement of getting into the museum now, I just have, we recognize actually that it's close to lunchtime, so we have prepared some refreshments for you. So even if you're in a hurry and you need to leave, you can take it away, but feel free to sit and mingle with us a little bit, or talk with us a little bit. We'll tell you where the refreshments are on the old numismatic area behind the museum. Yeah, so I would want to now, at this point, invite Honorable Minister, if you would come and assist Governor with that nice part of where you get cut the ribbon and we all get to get into the museum. Mrs. Crooks, would you please? And Naima.